welcome back to Update On, and the subject is Nowruz. Now, I thought that I knew any holiday that involved eating. I mean, I'm a family consumer scientist, a home economist, and I pride myself on knowing food ways. But until I met Azar, I had never heard of what is probably the oldest eating holiday in the world. And let's face it, anything that you get to eat, I will celebrate. Now, I have a little script here, so bear with me. Nowruz is an ancestral festivity marking the first day of spring and the renewal of nature. It promotes values of peace and solidarity between generations and within families, as well as reconciliation, friendliness, and kindness, thus contributing to cultural diversity and friendship among people in different communities and countries. And in these trying times, we really need Nowruz. Right, Azar?
That's correct. And what you read, it was actually written by United Nations when they recognized Nowruz as beginning of the new year for Persian community. Persians are not only Iranian people. They are Albany, they're from Albany, they're from Azerbaijan, Macedonia, India, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Turkmenistan, and Kurdish people. They all, celebrate Nowruz. Nowruz is not for Persians only.
Well, it's a Babylonian holiday in reality, because that's who the Persians are, were, and will be. And let's face it, we're taping this in March 2014, and this year it happens a few days before Nowruz is Purim, the Feast of Esther, a Babylonian queen. Check your Old Testament. We won't go into that. Another eating holiday.
Hebrew scriptures.
Anyway, a voice from correcting me. Anyhow, it is interesting that they actually come at the same time this year, because they don't always.
It's because of the calendar days, how it falls in the calendar. The days changes. Actually, Nowruz goes back to 550 BC to 330 BC, which is long time ago. That is about 2,500 years ago. That is what it is. It's said, but some historian goes even beyond that. And the Nowruz is the first day of spring, for March equinox, basically, when the sun is evenly spread over the both sides of hemisphere. That is when the new year happens. One goes, winter finishes and the new year starts. And Persian calendar has 4 seasons, 4 complete seasons. 3 months of spring, which starts with Nowruz, and each month has 31 days. Then we go to summer. When we go to summer, the sun is one side is more longer, on the other side of hemisphere, which it's called the longest day of the year. We celebrate it. It's called Tirgan, which is the first day of summer. Summer has 3 months, and each month has 31 days again.
And special food.
Special food. Everything is to celebrate and eat food.
Yes.
But healthy food, we talk about the healthy food for Nowruz, later. And then fall. Fall is 30 days each month. And then begins with Mehragan, which coincides with Harvest Fest in United States. And that is time when the darkness is in both sides of hemisphere is at the same time. And then winter. Winter we celebrate the longest night of the year, which call it Lialda. And it's the winter month is 30 days also, except the last day, which is 29 days, which is correspond with around February in United States or Western world. Every year we enter into spring, for the following year is 6 hours ahead. Like this year is 1 p.m., next year would be 7 p.m., and following year would be 1 a.m., which goes to the next day. That way, we add a day to the last month. We make it 30 days, which is the leap year day.
Okay.
You know, when the year...
and there's somebody special that tells you when it's going to be. You keep track of it.
We would know when it goes to the next year, you know, because of the day it changes to the next day. That's why Nowruz is sometimes on 20th of March, sometimes on 21st of March, because of that leap year.
Okay.
Because 4 times 6 hours would make it 24 hours, which would add to the day.
Okay.
Nowruz has its own ritual, and it begins from a month before Nowruz. A month before Nowruz, there is this guy paints his face black and his hands black and wears red suits. And he runs into the street and sings that the Nowruz is near, Nowruz is coming, and gives the news of Nowruz to everyone. We call it Haji Firuz. When he comes to the street, people go out and give him sweets and candies and money and thank him for bringing the news of Nowruz. And then people start doing spring cleaning in their home. Clean out everything, top to bottom, clean, wash, everything. And that is like a spring cleaning for, you know, Western world, you know. And then after that, it's Charshanbe Suri. Charshanbe Suri is the last Wednesday of the month. We celebrate with bonfires in the street. We jump over the fire and give each other's candies and cookies and celebrate it for that Nowruz is coming. The reason for that was ancient Persians, Zoroastrians, that were their religion, they believed that every human being has their own angel. And this angel is with God up there, which they call it Ahura Mazda. It is with God. And every Charshanbe Suri, they come down to their people's home to observe how they celebrate Nowruz and how they behave during Nowruz. Because they believed everything you do during Nowruz, it would carry on through the whole year. And they would take this news to Ahura Mazda, which is God, to report their human to him. So Persians would put the bonfire in front of their house to lead the angel to their home. And this angel would stay with them during the whole 12 days of Nowruz. And then they would go to God.
That sounds like it could be where the Christmas elf on the shelf came from, reporting to Santa. But the fact that it is adults makes it very interesting.
Right.
And the spring cleaning I find interesting as a Jew because you spring clean before Passover and everything has to be taken out of the house. And it is the one time of the year that a man cleans.
Everybody cleans at that time.
No. The job is to clean out his desk, to clean his study. And I have a lovely mental picture of my grandfather, who was a rabbi, with a white feather, cleaning out in case there should be some crumbs in his desk drawers, and a white feather to get all the crumbs out before the Passover.
All the dirts, yeah.
But it takes a month to get ready for Passover. Same thing.
Same thing. It's about a month it takes for Nowruz to get ready and set up the table and go shopping and gifts and all these things. It's
and new clothes.
And everything has to be new, head to toes. And when you go at the Nowruz table, right before Nowruz, you have to be on your best behavior, and we're all new head to toes. Be kind and generous to everyone, and
Be polite.
Be polite, and
Act like you're in kindergarten. Everything you learned in kindergarten.
exactly, and eat healthy. Because, as we said, we believe that it goes to carry out through the whole year what we do at the Nowruz table. And this is really the same as what it said in Avesta, which was the Zoroastrian book. It says, they really practice three things: good talks, good thoughts, and good deeds. That is what we have to practice during Nowruz too.
It would be nice if everybody practiced that all year. The world would be in a lot less trouble.
Exactly.
I promise not to preach anymore.
No, not politics today.
No politics today. But I also find it interesting that the Nowruz food is very heavy on healthy things: fruits, vegetables, lots of fresh herbs.
Exactly.
And when we were discussing this beforehand, and I had brought you one of my Passover cookbooks, it was lovely. Azar was going through the cookbook and giving me the Persian names of dishes I grew up with. I couldn't understand it. I can't say it, but it's pretty much the exact same dish.
It's pretty much the same. And most of the ingredients I looked, it was the same. Maybe the seasonings a little bit here and there. Depends to the taste.
And it also depends on what was available
exactly.
in the country that it went to. There are people called food archaeologists that follow recipes because they change based on the country the family has traveled through over 1,000 years.
That's true. And the other thing is food was seasonal in those days. Nowadays, you can find everything in all seasons, but at those times they were seasonal, so they had to use the seasonal food for or vegetables or herbs because they were not available during the other season of the year. Nowruz is celebrated for 12 days. And everywhere is closed in Iran for 12 days, except the emergency places like grocery stores. They open a couple of hours and they close again. And ancient Persians believed that Earth would last 1,000 years for each month of the year, which means 12,000 years. On the 13th year, the sky is going to collapse and everything is going to go away. That is what their belief was.
The 13th century, or the 13,000 years.
13,000 years after, the calendar probably it came, or they believed. That's what they believed. So on 13th of the Nowruz, we celebrate it too, because the sky didn't fall. We go out, we celebrate 13th day with picnic. We music, dance, food again, everything food related, for holidays. And then 14 days, everything goes back to normal.
And everything but essential services stop in a traditional community so that people can be observant and treat each other well and focus on other people, not on things.
Other people actually, that's true. Other people, the way they celebrate it, they go to the people's home. And they need that 12 days to visit all their families, all their friends, all their neighbors, because some people, you don't see them all year round. You don't see them as much. This is the time to go and visit them. And since my parents were the oldest member of the family and my grandmother used to live with us, we always had people from the morning, noon, night, everybody, they were in our house. And the first day belongs to the older people. And then at that home, they decide who's gonna, hold open their home for
Who's
what
going to
day
host?
for the new year. Which day and what time.
So it's sort of like Thanksgiving and Christmas for
Mix.
13 days.
Exactly.
Because you're going from place to place. You've got family and friends around. You're telling good stories.
We receive gifts. We give gifts, and I remember in our home we had a room full of gifts, personal gifts for close family members, and some generic one for everybody who walks into your home. They would just, they have to give them something.
Well, let's get back to food.
Okay.
You can tell looking at me that I rarely miss a meal. Nowruz Foods. What kind of special dishes are we talking about?
We have certain dishes which is based on the Nowruz table. Nowruz table is called hafsin. And we use haft means 7, sin means S. S. And 7, this table is set with 7 S's in there, which they are...
The letter S, guys.
Letter S. And then I go through it really quick so I can get to the food. One is sabzi. Sabzi is germinated lentil, wheat, or barley, which symbolizes growth and rebirth.
Okay, so it's sprouts.
Sprouts. The other one is seer, which is garlic, which symbolizes natural medicine.
Which everybody should eat every day unless you're allergic to or your tummy
Exactly.
can't get it, can't deal with it.
We say it in, Persians say if you have a high blood pressure, just take a clove of garlic, one clove of garlic, it would take care of it.
Always check and make sure that
Yes,
you're not allergic to
exactly. It's just, what they believed. The other one is sib sorg, which is red apple, and that is symbolizes earth, natural beauty, and health. Everybody says 1 apple a day takes the doctors away, The other one is sinjit, which is a dry fruit of lotus flower, which symbolizes love.
Okay, that's something I don't think I've ever had, but let's go on.
I would get you can eat it. You can taste it. The other one is sumac, which is the dried berry powder, which symbolizes warmth and sun.
Now, with sumac, you've got to be careful because American sumac is poisonous, but sumac, there is an edible variety that is grown in Israel and Palestine that is wonderful.
Oh, it's all Persian foods. It
has a lemon aftertaste, and I sprinkle it on hummus.
You can sprinkle on anything. Our Persian foods, we sprinkle on everything on Persian food. The other one is sirke, or vinegar, which symbolizes age, patience, and wisdom. Then sombol, or hyacinth, which symbolizes spring and beauty. Sekke, or coin, symbolizes wealth. And samanu, which is the sweet dessert, or pudding dessert, which made of germinated wheat. It symbolizes affluence. Besides this, we put other stuff on the table too, which one of them is the Holy Book. It used to be Avesta, Zoroastrian time, is Quran now. And also we put our famous poets' books, like Hafiz, Rumi, and all these books or Sadi, Shahnameh. We put them in the table too. It's a lot of fruit, dry fruits, and fruit, and fresh fruits, and sweets everywhere. And also,
you can nosh all day. Nothing is going to go bad sitting out.
Exactly. And one more very important thing is colored egg or decorated egg that you use it for Easter, and this is coincide around Eastern time too. And that we would put one for each family member, which represents humanity and fertility.
Would you believe we only have 5 minutes left?
Oh, really? And a candle for represented life. And fish, life itself within life. And the food, oh my God, we have to have another program for food. Since we have, at Nowruz table, we have grains, fish, berries, nut, grain, eggs, and all these things, we have dishes made of these healthy foods. And one is sabzi polo mahi, which is the green rice with saffron and fish. The other one is very much like the one we talked about, and it was in your book, which is the souffle of herbs souffle. I think we should do one program based on the healthy food, which these are going to be in there, which is like spinach pie for Jewish people, and that is kuku sabzi.
Well, spinach pie for Passover is made with matzah, and it is one of my family's least favorite things.
Oh,
But
this
this is going to be different because you can have sprouted things, and this, Jews can't during Passover. But, okay, now, there has to be a website that has Nowruz food on it. But
yes.
And it's got to be somewhere because everything I'm told is on the web. I don't necessarily believe that, but I'm told it is. But we have a wonderful thing that's happening in Reston. We're having a Nowruz celebration. And the first one, Azar told me to go to, and I have never seen Town Center that packed. They didn't expect it because Persians from all over the region came. It was wonderful. The music was wonderful.
Dance.
There were some people that brought food. Azar danced, but we're not going to do that today. It was just a neat celebration. And when will it be this year?
This year would be on the 16th of March at Reston Town Center from 10 to 5 p.m. It would be dance, music, food, everything. And I will be there. And if you want to meet me, I will be at the Coldwell Bankers Residential Brokers table. And you can come and meet me and ask all your questions and see about Nowruz or anything else you want.
The idea that makes this so fascinating, Americans have Thanksgiving, which has been touted as the only holiday in the whole world that celebrates eating. And let's face it, a lot of what we eat for Thanksgiving is wonderful. But unless you're going to go out on the back 40 and go plow, it's not the best thing for you to eat. But the foods for Nowruz are healthy. Fruits, nuts,
Greens, fish.
The stuff that we're being told to eat now. So that it's a good thing to look at and to see what you can do. We were talking about at the beginning friendliness, kindness, cultural diversity, friendship among peoples, and of the international community. It's a very difficult time right now, and Azar has brought, this is water, guys, it's not alcohol.
It's water.
With fruit in it, which is what she is. I've known her for a few years, and she almost always has water with some cucumbers or something in it. So we propose a toast, an international toast. We ask
Friendship.
To friendship and to world peace for every country, everywhere. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Update On.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me.